I don't think that I do very much about keeping the thoughts of dying from overwhelming me. I think I know by the age of 72, you know that you're going to die. There's no escape. Intellectually, you know that when you're 20 and 30 and 40. Emotionally, you know it by the time you're 72, partly because your friends have died, partly because it becomes a more imminent reality. So you know that. What keeps it from overwhelming you? It's because there's nothing you can do about it. You have to accept it. What's more worrying is how you'll die, how it'll come about, how will you cope? And I think then it's about hoping that there'll be compassionate people around you, that you'll be looked after, that you'll be able to cope. But mostly I think the very fact that you cannot do anything about it stops you from worrying about it. You cannot do anything about it. And if you're lucky and you're still healthy, you're still living your life. You're doing what you've always done in your life when you've had huge big worries about whether you can buy a house, whether you can cope with childbirth, whether you can cope with disasters happening in your life. What saves you is that you have to keep on living your daily life. You have to keep on helping other people, looking after yourself. So I suppose that's how I'd answer that. The question I'd really like to ask, because of my age, isn't about death. It's not that I don't recognize death as being there, but what I'd really like to talk about is what's different about being 72. In the same way as somebody might ask me what's different about being 25. All I can talk about is what's different about being 72. And what's different, there are good and bad things, are there, as there have been for every age, in my life anyway. The good things are, I no longer have the responsibility for children. I can help my children, enjoy being with them, but they're living their own lives. I don't have the worry of responsibility. That's a pleasure. I love the fact that they've grown up to be, in spite of what I might have thought when they were younger, very balanced, nice people. And their friends have grown up to be nice people. That's a great pleasure. That's one of the pleasures of age, to see that it's turned out better than you thought it would. And the bad things weren't as bad as they might have been. You did your best, you didn't always get it right. Sometimes exaggerated the disaster and sometimes exaggerated the success. But on the whole, it was life. It happened. Lots of things happened. It's quite amazing the number of things that happen in one long life. That's lovely. They're the positives. They're the nice things. It's a kind of liberation. You can't. It's done. You don't have to do it again. It's no good saying, I really always intended to, or I wanted to grow to be a different person. It's too late. It's done. There are things I can do from now on, but really, I've become the person I am, and more or less, it's done. And that's kind of might sound depressing, but actually it isn't. That's very liberating, to be who you are and just be there. The bad things are not having so much energy, not being able to do all the things I might want to do as quickly or as powerfully as I might want to do them. takes longer. On the other side of that, I manage that by being much better at planning. I'm now a very sly planner. I do my activities in the morning, or things that are going to require loads of energy, and then quite often I forget and I work all day and I am shattered at the end of the day or the next day. But, whatever, that's life too. What else? I think it's about managing life exactly where you are. Not trying to say, oh, I don't feel like 72, because being 72, oh, that would be really bad. That would be really frightening. That's terrible. No, I'm not 72. Oh, actually, I only feel like 50. That's just nonsense. You can't hold away your life by saying something different, by saying, I don't feel 72. I'm going to dress like somebody of 40. 72 is the new 50. It's not. It's the same old 72. I'm healthier, and I've lived a probably more comfortable life than my parents and my grandparents. But bodies don't really know that. Bodies do change, and life changes. Children grow up and go on and have grandchildren, and that's as it's always been. And that's lovely. That's same as always. Is that enough?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.